It's a beautiful thing. It's what a time
It's
we're in.
what a time to be alive right now, because before, what was it? Oh, I got to move to LA to make it in entertainment, or oh, I got to go to Silicon Valley to go pitch my idea. You don't got to do none of that now.
Yeah.
Right from your crib, right from your own community, you could build the next Apple. You could build, build your own record label. You make your own music, make your own visuals, build your own A24, like all that right from your crib.
That's right. It's time for some tech talk, and we're here back at the Know Your Rights Camp podcast. And none other than Boris Starks is in the building. My man, Abran Maldonado. How are you, sir?
Good, family. Good to be back out here.
Yes.
St. Louis is the next stop.
Yes. We're here in St.
dope.
Louis, a bunch of kids learning, and it's a beautiful thing.
No, I'm happy to be here.
So last time we were here, we were talking about the hustle, right?
That's right.
The kids in the street, to get that mindset going, and then how to apply it into the digital world, right? And we showed how you did that with your endeavors coming along, right? But since we've been gone, AI has dropped new models, expanded, agents are here. It's a lot of things happening, right? And the next thing that I'd like to talk about is like ingenuity or resourcefulness, right? Because that's another thing that kids do in the street, right? They look at their environment and they figure out, oh, how can I do this and how can I do that? And a lot of times it's not in the best way to do it, right? But now with all of these tools that are coming along in the AI space, right? What are some of the ways that you see that these kids can apply that ingenuity / resourcefulness?
So the saying used to be, as long ago as maybe 6 months ago, that ideas were a dime a dozen, right? It was the execution that separated the haves from the have-nots, the ability to execute, the access to the tools to bring that vision to life. Now it's the opposite, because now all of these AI tools are at everyone's disposal. There's a lot that are free, there are some that are cheaper than a Netflix subscription, and there are some out there that you pay as you go. You only pay for as much as you use it. And open source, right? Open source is a free community where a lot of these tools that are just reverse engineered all the great things that could happen with a ChatGPT to make available to everyone. So now that we have all the tools at our disposal, now what do you do with it? Now the ideas are what separate everyone, because everyone's staring at the same blank screen. Everyone has the same access. So we now have to figure out, okay, from an idea standpoint, not everyone is going to be a creative in that way to just have a plethora of ideas, but you got to be tapped in. You got to pay attention to what the streets want. You got to pay attention to what your community needs, what problems need to be solved around you. And if you tap into that part and you pay attention enough, then you have the tools to come up with those solutions. And whether you monetize it, whether you capitalize on it, become an entrepreneur, or create a tool as easy as making a Instagram post or a TikTok, it's gotten to that point now.
Right. So basically, know your environment still, right? Look around. What are the things that are needed? Whether that's in your neighborhood or in your circle of friends or in your online presence, and figuring out with the tools, right? ChatGPT, Claude, and DeepSeek, and all of these other models. That really is just a matter of talking to them, having a conversation, and going back and forth and figuring out what you need, and then taking the other tools like the AI agents that are coming along and fulfilling those needs, right?
The thing with AI agents and ChatGPTs, and for those that are listening and watching, I don't know where they stand as far as like their prior knowledge of AI. But if we take it to the basics and we just lay out the first wave of this, with ChatGPTs and chatbots, was you talk to it and it talks back. And that alone was like, okay, I'm having a conversation with an AI and it understands what I want to talk about. Now, imagine now reversing that and saying, okay, now that you talk to the chatbot is then going and doing something else on your behalf, or you're assigning a role or a task to the AI and it's doing it autonomously and independently. Well, shoot, now you can have a whole army and a swarm of these agents doing things for you. And all you got to do is delegate. All you got to do is just kind of be the person in command and be the captain that's just like laying out your vision to all of these tools. And they will execute and report back to you and say, is this what you want? Do you want me to change it? Do you have any feedback for me? And think of all the solopreneurs out there that are trying to run a business all on their own because they don't have money to hire salary staff and build out a whole team, you know, favors from family to like keep things running. But now with all these tools, you know, agents, automation tools like N8N, like we talked about, you know, the new wave now of build your own app through ideas, right? We've seen text to text, text to image, text to video, and now text to app. You know, like making an app now is going to be as easy as making a TikTok or a video. And all you have to do is just have a conversation.
Yeah.
So, and one thing that we don't lack in the hood is the gift of gab, you know, and the ability to talk to each other and like communicate on the block. We've been doing it for decades. And if you can have that same conversation that you do with your homies with an AI, like that's a game changer.
Nothing can stop you. There's literally nothing stopping you from, as you often say, building from scratch, going from ground up and creating your own thing and giving it to the world. And then having a team behind you to help do the things you need to do. Nothing, you don't have to worry about manpower anymore or anything. Nothing's stopping you.
They're saying that we're going to see the first solo billionaire. And what that means is that we've seen a lot of billionaires, but truly the way that they calculate that net worth is the value of their companies, the valuation of their assets. And if you take like a Tim Cook or even, you know, like an Elon, like there's thousands of people that work at all of his companies. SpaceX, Tesla, Twitter. You know, what we haven't seen yet is a single individual running all those companies as N of one, as one person.
Making it by themselves.
Just with a swarm of agents and AIs that are running things for them. And they're saying we're going to see that within the next, 5 to 10 years.
This is crazy. They've been saying for a while, all right, what a time to be alive, but this is truly, we're at the pinnacle, or the beginning rather, of a new era.
One of the things I made, I'm a Marvel geek. Tony Stark has his Jarvis, so I made Clara. Clara is the first woman of color AI digital human. What you're gonna learn is you are gonna know more about AI than anybody in your community, anybody in your block, anybody in your school. What do you do with that superpower? I'm using that superpower and I'm traveling the world. What are you gonna do with that superpower? I'm one of the developers that helped create ChatGPT. We are entering a world where you will coexist with AI, and that's not going away. These are the skills that you need to work on to make sure that you don't get replaced by AI. Culture, you know culture better than anything. That's why we turned hip-hop into a $1 trillion industry. We know creativity better than anyone. Critical thinking, thinking on your feet, problem solving, communication, and collaboration. You know that team that I just told you about, Tree Industries, that helped you make Clara? Today, I've been working with them for 5 years. Today will be the first time that we will meet in person. So now, y'all are all world builders. You know what that means? You don't have to move to LA to make your next Marvel show. You don't have to move to LA to make your next cartoon, a music video, even a song. All the things that you've dreamed up that you think you can do, but you feel like someone needs to put you on or let you in or sign you to a deal, all that is gone now. You have access to every tool that everyone else has in the world right now. And you can make your own characters, build your own worlds, your own universes, and tell your own stories. Just this week, a new AI came out that can turn any picture into anything else. And everyone went crazy. Who's ever heard of Studio Ghibli? Right? So they came out with the Ghibli effect this week. So now people going crazy, Ghibli and everything. So now, I can turn me and my homies into Marvel characters and comic book superheroes just by saying, yo, turn this into Marvel. That's it. Just by writing that sentence.
Tell us about some of the new things you've been working on.
Well, one of the things that we always try and address is what I tell the people when I travel to other countries of why rely on, people in Silicon Valley to build something for you when you could build it yourself, right? If I'm in Italy, if I'm in the Arabic community in Qatar, and they don't see themselves represented accurately in language or in the chatbots or in the images, I'm like, then why are you just sitting back waiting for them to make something for you, build it yourself?
Right.
So one of the things that we saw was we wanted to have two things. One, we wanted to have a safe space when it comes to AI for, whether it was DEI or just different cultures that feel like they weren't represented in the right way, to have our own chatbot called Empowered, where not only will you see yourself more represented, but in asking for help, you'll see the right nonprofits or the right resources represented, the ACLU information and, different nonprofits in your community that are helping out people. We've asked the nonprofits, we say, when you prompt yourself in ChatGPT, what comes up? And they're like something inaccurate that was just like scraped from the internet. So I'm like, so if a grandma was like struggling with like, keeping the heat on in St. Louis, should they go to ChatGPT? And they're like, oh, heck no, they should come to us. So we're putting them in an AI. So that way, when you do prompt this chatbot Empowered, that that you're getting the right resources. And then on the visual side, we wanted to achieve more representation for our culture and our community from an image standpoint. So we made our own image model. We partnered with a stock photo company, a Black-owned stock photo company out in the West Coast. And we told them the same thing we told all creatives. We said, look, instead of handing over your AI, your content, your IP to AI companies, or feeling like you're going to be replaced with AI content, then just go out there and stand up your own model and make your own. And one way that we're doing that, we took all 15,000 of their images and trained in an image model solely exclusively based on their images. So that way now they can go to clients and say, if you want to use our photos, use what's in our photo library, or just prompt your own image. And now we can go to the community and go to marketers and different brands and say, if you really want to prompt diverse, inclusive, and representative images, you have that in this tool.
Yeah, ready to go.
It's just one way that we're trying to give back to the culture with AI.
Love it, love it. I mean, so, all right, we've learned a lot. We know for sure hustle is a key thing, right? Take that mindset that you learn outside in the hood and apply it in this digital space. Easy to do now, especially with all the resources and tools that they're giving you.
Your ideas are your currency right now.
Your ideas are your currency. That's a bar. Run with that, right? So there's nothing stopping these kids from saying, getting up one morning, I'm tired of poverty, I'm tired of whatever, and I'm going to create this, and I'm going to lift up and get up out of this mud on my own. It's a beautiful thing. It's what a time we're in.
What a time to be alive right now. Because before, what was it? Oh, I got to move to LA to make it in entertainment. Or, I got to go to Silicon Valley to go pitch my idea. You don't got to do none of that now.
Yeah.
Right from your crib, right from your own community, you could build the next Apple. You could build, build your own record label. You make your own music, make your own visuals, build your own A24, like all that right from your crib.
Nice. All right. So people better keep paying attention because it's only going to get better and faster. That means if you're not in it, you're going to get left behind. So don't do that to yourself.
The wage gap right now, not to take it there, but like it's going to be who learned how to use these tools and who didn't.
Right.
And we say it's a cliche line at this point, but we keep saying it anyway, that you're not going to be replaced by AI. You're going to be replaced by people that know how to use AI.
That's a fact.
And how are you going to stack up against those people when it comes to a job interview? When they have AI in their resumes and how to be more 10x more productive, and you don't, and you're still doing things the old way.
Yeah.
So things are going to get scary for everybody, but we just got to adapt and adopt and keep it pushing.
And at some point, it might be too late if you don't get in now, right? So, all right. So we're gonna keep paying attention and we're gonna keep learning from you. Let them know where they can find you at.
Create Labs is, on IG at Create Labs, createlabs.io online. And you can find me at Abran on Twitter or at Abran AI on IG and TikTok.
All right, so we're going to keep paying attention because we're going to keep giving you that knowledge. I'm Tat Wizard, TATWZA on all socials. Speaking of socials, go to Your Rights Camp. And if you want to watch this on YouTube, go to Know Your Rights Camp. And if you want to contribute, go to knowyourrightscamp.org.